Ready, set, hunt.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Weekend Zone, where we're going to cover all things football. We're football here. We're back at it. I'm Britt Johnson. You guys can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
Morning, everybody. It's Jackie Ray. You can follow me everywhere at JRay the Fanatic.
All right, we got some stuff to get into. So let's get into honorable mentions right now. So each NFL team picked a name. It's one, name per team as far as what they have on the back of their helmets. The whole team has to have the same name, right? So Pittsburgh decided to choose Antoine Rose Jr., who was killed by the Pittsburgh PD in 2018. That is what everybody on their team decided to have, except for Alejandro Villanueva, who decided to cover that name with a fallen Army hero. I can't even believe to tell you the disrespect and the hate this man must hold in his heart to cover an 18-year-old boy's name who was murdered just with something else because he feels like it. The Steelers president actually released a statement saying basically they will respect how others express themselves in social justice topics, and said, and I quote, "We understand that individually we may say or do things that are not universally accepted. There will be uncomfortable conversations, but we will strive to be a force for unity in our efforts to support more just society, a more just society." So, Jackie, what are your thoughts on this? I know my thoughts. I probably know your thoughts too, but how do you feel about this one single player deciding to cover up somebody's name who's been murdered?
My first thought was, let me see if he's related to Sheriff Alex Villanueva here, who said those moronic things about LeBain.
Right.
Because it seems to run in the bloodline if that's the case. So I agree with you 100%. It's like, okay, this kid was 18. He was murdered by, it's just one of those things where I just feel like you're saying your statement is very profound. You're saying, hey, I know you guys are experiencing this, but it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that I go against the grain and I show that I'm not unified in this push for social change and social justice. And I think when you go out of your way to make that statement, then it shows more to who you are. And if I was playing alongside of him, that would bother me. I would have a real problem with playing alongside a man who just decided that this social justice movement doesn't matter to him.
Right. And unfortunately for a lot of Steelers players, they also have to play next to, well, not right now, thank goodness, a guy like Mason Rudolph, who we all know had rumors that said the N-word. But Big Ben's back in business, so Mason's back on the sideline, so good for that moment. But moving on to something happier and kind of hilarious. So there was first of all, I didn't even know they broadcasted NFL games in Germany, but they do. And a German broadcaster was basically calling the game in German. So we don't know what he's actually saying here, but you can still tell his reaction is hilarious when he hears Tom Brady cuss for the first time. Check out this video.
Touchdown, Tampa. Oh! What? Was hat Tom Brady da gerade gesagt?
Das darf man doch gar nicht sagen im Fernsehen.
Irgendwas.
Are you surprised that Tom Brady cussed? And are you surprised in how he cussed? Because to be clear, he said with the ER at the end. It's progress now, but he needs to do a little better.
Now, man, welcome to the NFC South. You're going to be doing a lot more cussing when you play against all the teams down here in the NFC South. It's going to get used to it. It's not like how it was back when you were playing for the Patriots. So, no, I'm not surprised. And, yes, like you said, it is some progression because we're getting to see a different Tom Brady since he's been with the Tampa Bay retirement home. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all. This is just the first of many times we will hear him cuss.
All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for our mentions. Chris, what you got for us for Athlete Trash Talk?
Well, it's funny because we're sticking with Tom Brady in the first one because we have some very strong words from one great quarterback, Brett Favre, to Tom Brady's new coach, Bruce Arians. Now, we talked about it this week about how Bruce Arians did not hold back on how he felt Tom Brady played in his first game as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And Brett Favre is not a fan of the way Bruce Arians was talking about Tom Brady. Brett Favre was on record saying this. He said, I think the last person you want to call out after the first game of the year is Tom Brady. And he said this to Dan Martin on the New York Post. He continued by saying, now maybe they had a mutual truce going into the game, going into the season. Hey, I'm going to be hard on you. I want the guys to know we're going to treat you the same, though technically I'm not. So are you okay with that? If they had that truce, great. If not, I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Now, for those who may or may not have known, after their first game and their first loss to the Saints, Bruce Arians went in some missed throws by Tom Brady. He broke down plays where Mike Evans was in the right spot. Brady didn't get the ball to him, and all kinds of crazy stuff, throwing him under the bus the first game. And I had a lot of people like, I've never heard this before. No one ever goes in after Tom Brady. So that's what Brett Favre was talking about. And I agree. If there was no truce about it, I think me and Jackie were already rubbing our hands together like, oh yeah, this is the beginning of something very, very toxic. So hopefully it wasn't what Brett Favre says, and hopefully they're just ready to implode, but we'll see what happens. That's just my haterade talking. But moving on from there, we're talking about another coach who has just been out of line, and that is Mike Ditka, who on Monday said that he doesn't understand why football players are really protesting police brutality and racial injustice by refusing to stand for the national anthem. He says that he's not going to change his stance, and he never will, because he just doesn't understand that sentiment. All right, Mr. Mike Ditka, but we got Dez Bryant, who is very, very vocal on. Dez went in after Mike Ditka, and he tweeted this out saying, somebody needs to go have a sit down with Mike Ditka. No arguing, but explain to him what's going on. Feeling entitled at its finest. And that's facts. But what is also facts, and unfortunately, what Jamil Hill had to say to him in response. And she said, I doubt he cares. And that is unfortunate as well. But man, Mike Ditka showing that he could give a damn less about what is going on or any kind of change. And I'm with Dez Bryant on this, but I'm also unfortunate with Jamil Hill, because I feel like he said, you can't change my stance. And I feel like even sitting down and talking to him, his stance wouldn't be changed. But regardless, I'm with you on this one, Dez. But that's it for me here on Athlete Trash Talk. Jackie, please tell me you got some clapbacks for us this week, please.
So actually, we have to thank Britt for this one, because we finally got. I'm gonna give 2 claps because we got 2 claps. It's all because of Britt, though. We got 2 claps.
What?
Just real quick, Chris. That was slow.
Okay.
You gotta do it fast.
Sorry. I can't believe it. Okay.
All right. So let's get into these trash talks. Let's see this first one really quickly. This one is for you, Britt. It says, oh, don't be a sore loser. I remember all the videos you saying Kawhi was the new king, OG, the NBA. Britt, that was for you. That was from the live when you were fail-faced and didn't want to have any conversations. Let's keep it going with another Britt one, because I want you to save this one, isn't it? Dang, bruh, the fumble is falling off. This is typical. So this is like our typical, no clap. Let's get to the next one. Now I know why I unsubscribed. Cringe AF. Okay, again, that's the same little air clap. But now let's do this bookend. See, we started with Britt. We're going to end with Britt. Britt looked like she bet her rent money on the game and lost. You did actually have that face in the live. I don't know if you remember, but you did literally have that face in the live.
I hope he went after these fools.
More than my money, it was my soul. It was my whole...
Damn, that's even worse.
So they were right. So can we just give these people claps, since we got 2 good claps this time? Good job, guys. Good job.
No,
Britt's not gonna clap, but I give you the 2 claps.
Still just decent, though. Still just decent.
Decent, yeah.
All right, guys, before we get out of here, our game of the week. So mine is just going to be real simple and quick. I'm doing Ravens-Texans because it's 2 black quarterbacks, and I know there's more black quarterbacks in the league now, but I like to see this. I love Lamar Jackson. I love Deshaun Watson, so I'm excited to see both of them go head-to-head against each other. I think Deshaun Watson got some of his glitchy from game 1 against Kansas City Chiefs. So I think he'll be playing better week 2. Lamar Jackson was already killing it week 1, so he's just going to continue week 2. So this is going to be my game of the week.
Yeah, my game of the week is a very familiar story, but with a new quarterback, and that is the Patriots versus the Seahawks. And coincidentally enough, mine is the same thing. We've got two brothers at quarterback playing against each other. So it's the same storyline. We know about the Patriots and the Seahawks, that whole Super Bowl storyline that we talked about. But now we got Cam Newton, who's coming off of a pretty spectacular game one, and to go in against a very, very hot Seahawks team that went in there and trashed the Falcons. Thank you very much, Russell Wilson. So I'm excited about this game. I want to see how the Patriots look in probably their first real hard game of the season. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Look at these black quarterbacks just shining.
Look at us. That's 2 for 2. Okay.
Yeah, because I got one. I got a black quarterback in mind. I'm going with the Cardinals and Washington. So I really want Kyler Murray to hand it to Washington, and this is going to be for Britt
That's
too.
two.
So we got two. That's right. We got two. I don't even really consider Washington a team, really. So look, all black quarterbacks, and Britt, this is for you because Washington is the only team undefeated in the NFC East. That's gross to me. So I really need the Cardinals to go ahead and hand them since they got one win, I need them to get this one loss. So let's give it to the Washington refuse to change their name. I feel like we all just put it in I'm rooting for everyone black because we all picked black games of quarterback this week. Is it bad though that I totally discounted the black guy in Washington? How bad is my disdain for Washington that I overlooked the whole team?
That's the only player on that team I like. Shout out to Dwayne Haskins, man. That's the only player on that stupid team I like.
I thought you were trying out Kyler Murray because I was like, oh, is he too light skinned for you? Is he too light skinned for you?
No, that's only Danny Green. That's only Danny Green that's too light skinned for me. Britt, stop it.
Still brought him back.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in the Weekend Zone. Let us know who your picks are for games of the week. We will see you guys next week. I'm Britt Johnson, Chris Clark, Jackie Ray. Peace.